is going on, guys? In this episode of High School Kitchen Essentials, we are going over sweet potatoes. I don't think I need to go into the details of benefits of sweet potatoes. Great source of carbs for all my athletes out there. They are cheap, they are simple to make, as we'll see, and they're very versatile. I'll probably make some more videos on how to use sweet potatoes. The one we're going to go over today is a really easy way to make them. This is probably my favorite way to make them because you can either do this same exact recipe with just one potato, or as you see it today, we are going to be using 4 potatoes. It is the same setup, so you don't have to worry too much about switching things up depending on how much you're making. So this can just be for one meal, or as I'm going to be doing today, kind of meal prepping some sweet potatoes for the rest of the week. Okay, so here's what you'll need. Sweet potatoes. You will need a strong, sturdy knife. Okay, if you have never cut sweet potatoes before, it is actually not that easy. So make sure you have a decent sized knife. You can have a bowl if you want to. I'm going to use this just because it's a little bit easier for me. You don't need it. You'll see what I'm talking about later. A baking sheet, some tin foil, salt, pepper, and some olive oil. That is all you'll need. Very straightforward. We're going to be using an oven today. We're going to be baking these potatoes. So that is everything you'll need. This is going to be a very straightforward recipe like I was talking about. So the first thing we're going to do is set our oven to 400 degrees. I have already done that. If you do not know how to use your oven, please ask your parents to show you how, not do it for you. That is the whole idea behind this series, is you taking a little bit of control when it comes to your cooking. So don't just have them show you, or don't just have them do it for you, have them show you. If you need to take notes, then go ahead, so you know how to use your oven, because they're all gonna be a little bit different each and every time. So again, first things first, oven is set to 400. Next, we're gonna start attacking our potatoes and cutting them up. The first thing you are going to do, if you want to, is peel them. If you would prefer your potatoes to be peeled, you are more than welcome to do that. I don't really care, so I'm gonna leave them unpeeled. What I've got going on first is just cutting the ends off, all right? We don't want that part. That's not really gonna serve us at all. Potatoes, tips off, like so, all right? I got my potatoes like this. The next thing I'm going to do is cut it in half long ways. So, again, like I said, damn. Sweet potatoes are not easy to cut. You gotta put some muscle into it. Please just be careful if you are not used to using a big knife. So the reason we are doing that is, so now they are flat. It is gonna be hard to cut them if they're rolling. Now they are nice and flat. I'm going to cut it long ways one more time. All right, so I have my potatoes in long spears, just like this, okay? From there, I'm just gonna take half of that. Make sure you can see. You can cut these up as small as you want, as big as you want. All right, I'm cutting mine up small because, quite frankly, I'm kind of lazy and I just want them to cook a little quicker. So I've got my potatoes cut up like this, about this size. For me, I'm just gonna go ahead and toss them all in this bowl for right now. So again, one more time, let's go over this. I've got my potatoes cut into quarters, all right? I'm going to cut them into little pieces, like so. Yes, they will be a little different sizes. That doesn't really matter, all right? Again, like this. If you don't have a bowl, then just put them somewhere where they are out of your way, all right? So I'm gonna cut the rest of these up, and I'll see you in just a little bit. Okay, so potatoes are all cut up. I've got them in my bowl. Something I meant to mention earlier, the reason I really like this recipe, or the way cooking them this way and cutting them up, is it doesn't matter how big your sweet potatoes are, even if you get the small ones or the really big ones like you saw that I had. At the end of the day, we're cutting them up so into sizes about this big, so you don't have to stress too much about which potatoes you were getting, all right? So next up is our baking sheet. We're gonna get this. I'm gonna take my tin foil and I'm going to lay it across just like that. You don't actually need the tin foil. The tin foil is more so just to make cleanup a little bit easier, so you don't really have to wipe down your baking sheet when you're done with it that much. If you don't have everything in a bowl, what you're gonna do now is dump your potatoes onto this baking sheet. If you do have a bowl, you're gonna do the next step, which for me is grabbing my olive oil, salt, and pepper. If you stay tuned with this series, this is going to be a comment combination. Okay, this is where you can put your own little spin on it. It doesn't really matter how much you put on. This is kind of personal preference. How much salt do you like? How much pepper do you like? If you don't really like salt and pepper, you don't really have to put them in. I would definitely put a little bit of oil on them, preferably olive oil. But again, if you don't like salt, if you don't like pepper, you can leave them out. So just going to mix that up as much as I can. All right, make sure we get a nice even coat, get a little bit of oil on everything. Whoops. I could probably use a little bit of olive oil in this. Again, they don't need to be drenched in oil, but you want them to be decently covered, all right? So from here, I'm now going to take, for me at least, these potatoes. Now I'm putting them on my baking sheet, right? I actually might have too much. I might need to do a second baking sheet. All right, let's pretend that's all I got. So if you didn't have a bowl, you put your potatoes down like this. This is where you will then put your olive oil, your salt and pepper on, and you'll just mix them around like I'm doing right here, just to make sure you get your salt, pepper, olive oil evenly mixed around like so, okay? I can actually fit a few more on here. All right, so here's what we've got. Let's review our steps. We just cut our potatoes up. You want to cut them up about this size. Again, they're going to be a little different. This is going to allow them to cook fairly quickly. It's also going to allow you to not get too particular as to what potatoes you are getting. Let's say we were baking a whole sweet potato. It would completely change everything depending on how big they are. So we're cutting them up like this, all right? After that, just salt, pepper, olive oil, and that's really it. Throw them on a baking sheet. My oven is already at 400. I'm going to throw them in. I personally don't really get too particular on how long I'm cooking things for. I tend to be in the kitchen as I'm cooking stuff. I just open the oven. Did it look good? I'll take one, try it. If it needs a little bit more time, it needs a little bit more time. If it is ready, then I just go ahead and take it out. I am gonna time these ones just so I can let you guys know how long this took for me. So if you want to time it and then kind of walk away, go do something for 20, 30 minutes, then you can do that. It'll probably be around that time, probably closer to the 25 to 30 minutes. So these are going in the oven right there, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Okay, and we're back. It has been 32 minutes, a little bit longer than I thought it might be. The potatoes are done. I have already checked them. So we're gonna go ahead and take them out, let them cool off, and we are good to go. I have potatoes for the week now. So let's go ahead and go over our steps one more time. We're gonna set our oven to 400. We're gonna cut the ends off our potatoes. We're then cutting them long ways, okay, so nice and flat. Then cutting them long ways again so they're in quarters. Chop them up nice and small, salt, pepper, olive oil, throw them in the oven. Again, anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes usually. These might have been just a little bigger. Again, 32 minutes, not so bad. You can do whatever you want in that time frame, and they are all done. Are these the best sweet potatoes you're ever gonna eat in your life? No. But are they very good sweet potatoes that were extremely easy to make? Yup, and that's the main goal with this, all right? So keep that in mind. Guys, thank you so much for sticking around and watching this video. If you made it this far, I appreciate it. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date when I'm releasing new videos. If you like this series, this easy to cook, healthy foods for my high schoolers out there, anybody who doesn't really know what they're doing in the kitchen that much, please give me a comment down below in this video and let me know what you want to see, all right? I will see you next time.